Are you looking to scale up your company and need some capital? Well, there's a few alternatives, and one of them is the topic of today's video, equity crowdfunding. Let's dive into it. I'm Adrià Tarraida, crowdfunding consultant. Welcome to my channel. So, what's equity crowdfunding? Well, it's a close cousin to rewards-based crowdfunding, right? We saw it in the previous video. I'll leave a link here. And instead of, in this case, giving them a reward, be it a product or a service or an experience, in this case, in equity crowdfunding, what you're giving is away a piece of the action. You're giving away equity. You're giving away shares of your company, okay? So that's the main difference with rewards-based crowdfunding. The main two platforms are Seedrs and Crowdcube. So I am recording this in the middle of February. Yes, it's really cold. And Seedrs and Crowdcube are in the process of merging. The thing is on the table of the Competition and Mergers Authority, the CMA. Oh, doggy. And yeah, we'll have a verdict at some point in April. So I will record another video in April talking about my thoughts. If you want my thoughts now, I have an article in my website explaining it. So yeah, feel free to go there and check it out. There are many other platforms such as Fellow Funders in Spain, Companisto in Germany, or Capital Cell that specializes in life sciences. I would encourage you to do a bit of research to look what's the best platform for you. In any case, those platforms will allow you to put your campaign in the platform in exchange for 6 or 7% of the money raised through the platform, okay? They will have a bit of a due diligence, so not everybody that approaches a platform goes out and does an equity crowdfunding campaign, and I can help you on that, so please reach to me and I can help you with that. Let's go to see this, to see what are the main characteristics of such a campaign. So we are in Seedrs, one of the main equity platforms in the UK, and you can see here, first of all, that you have a public target, okay? In this case, White Rabbit, this pizza company that does pizzas for vegan and does pizzas gluten-free. They are saying we need £300,000 to do our business plan, and they're doing quite well in this case. They have raised more than they needed, 429,000, so they're over funding at the moment, okay? The other thing is that the campaign is time-bound, and there is a part of the campaign that you will not see because it's a private campaign. It's only for the cornerstone investment or for the community of that company. And once they reach a certain percentage of their objective, and they're able to share it with the world and go public, and everybody will see it on the main page of the equity crowdfunding platform, okay? So in this case, the part that's public is usually 30 days. The part that's private typically lasts between a week and 2 weeks. I will do another video with the whole timeline from the very start of planning an equity crowdfunding campaign to having the money in the bank and even beyond, because it continues. You need to keep your investors informed of what you're doing, okay? So watch out in this channel because quite soon we'll have that video up and running. The next thing I want you to notice is that you need to give a valuation of your company, okay? In this case, you can see it here. The White Rabbit is valued at 12.5 million. And as a result of your objective, 300,000, and that pre-money valuation, then there's some equity offered, okay? You need to think as well that the more you raise, the more equity you will need to give away, okay? So you might want as well another objective that's not private there in the platform, but it's just internal within you and the platform, saying, look, I don't want to give away more than 5% of the company in this round, for example, and therefore let's stop the campaign when we reach £450,000, for example, okay? So think about that, think about how much money you want to give away. We will do another video again, more specifically on how to set your valuation, how to set your campaign objective, etc., etc. Okay, so look at this channel for that, and I'll link it as soon as it's up. Finally, something that's very important to note is that these campaigns are all or nothing, okay? So if you don't reach your objective, as we were saying, you're saying, I need £300,000 to execute this business plan, and you'll be able to share it with your followers, with the people that are interested in investing. And it would not be very transparent, it would not be very clear if you said, okay, I haven't reached my £300,000, but thank you very much, I'm taking the money, okay? That would not be very honest. And the FCA that regulates those platforms here in the UK would not allow that, okay? So it's a very logical thing that those campaigns are all or nothing. Either you reach 300,000, in this case, your objective in any case, or you will not get the money, okay? So let's look at the benefit of running an equity crowdfunding campaign. Number one, the most obvious one, raising the funds, okay? As I said at the beginning of the video, there are many other alternatives that you can have to raise those funds, okay? So I would really encourage you to look at all those other alternatives very closely. If you only need the funds, perhaps equity crowdfunding is not the best route, okay? If you do an equity crowdfunding campaign, it's because you really believe in all the other benefits that it might have. And let's look at them. Number two, this is an equity campaign, okay? You are not selling anything, so you need to fulfill those sales. You are not taking debt, so you need to return that money. That money goes straight into your bank, and it is to execute your business plan, okay? So that's a big advantage versus debt or versus sales itself, that you don't need to give back that money either in product or services or as money that you give back to the bank with interest, okay? So that's quite important. Number three, you will have a lot of investors, typically 300 upwards of number of investors that you will have in your equity crowdfunding campaign, right? What that means is that no one of those investors holds a significant portion of your company. I would recommend you to really treat them well, those investors, keep them informed, but none of them will be able to tell you, no, you execute your business plan like I'm saying, because no one will hold enough power in your company for that, okay? So that's quite important, because if you raise through a VC, they will hold the strings sometimes, okay? So very important to know, a big benefit in my opinion, depending on where you want to take your company. 4, it's a great way to validate your business plan. I would really recommend you to refine it a lot before you go live. But what is true as well is that once you're live, there's going to be a lot of people looking at it, taking it from different perspectives, asking you questions. And as well, if you don't get to your objective, perhaps the market is sending you a message that, that business plan is not good enough. And, instead of wasting a lot of time executing a business plan that would have gone nowhere, you have got that feedback quite early from your potential investors. Number 5, raising awareness of your brand. Number 5 and number 6 are very similar to the ones we did in the last video about rewards-based campaign. But raising awareness, it's a great opportunity to do a lot of advertising, a lot of marketing for your company, okay? There's gonna be people that have never heard about your company and will hear for the first time during the equity crowdfunding campaign. It's a great opportunity to get new clients. I would say in terms of PR, that just doing an equity crowdfunding campaign is not news anymore. They've been around for a while, and there's a lot of companies doing equity crowdfunding all the time. But if you wrap it together with your mission, with your vision, with maybe some interesting facts that you find out, and then you're in a good position to share with the journalist, they will run a story about you. So you will raise awareness of your brand with a great excuse of an equity crowdfunding campaign. And number 6, you will have an army of ambassadors, okay? There's a lot of fintech companies that run equity crowdfunding campaign after equity crowdfunding campaign just for that reason, because they have noticed that the investors that they have are much more involved with the company. They use much more the app, for example. They refer many more people. All those metrics that really are important for a new fintech company, they are smashing them with those investors. So let's look at an example with Chip Financial. So here's Chip Financial, one of those fintech banks that have emerged in the last few years here in the UK. And you can see here the funding history, right? Look at the number of investors. And a lot of them will be repeat investors in all those different rounds, okay? Any round from 2017 to 2020. Quite a lot will be repeat investors. But it will be very interesting because all those investors, there's probably more than 12,000 investors here in total. And all those investors are really engaged with the app, they're referring new customers, and they're really up into it. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for your attention. I will leave a lot of links down here to my website in which I explain how to run a successful campaign. I will do more videos on the topic because it's really close to my heart and I really enjoy doing it. Until then, see you soon.